for a long time, from when I started actually. I like to do my podcasts, my recording in the morning. Have 3 cups of bracing coffee, which I roasted myself, and off I went to examine what it was that I was meditating on or what I was contemplating and reflecting on, because I was really, finding that sweet spot in my time and energy. But lately, I am shifting to doing night work. And so when I wake up now, it's hurry night, hurry night. Because I find that night space to be quite interesting and calming and revealing and sort of, well, consolidating, really. And I think that's a good word for hurry night, is to talk about consolidation. Consolidation of the day's events, which can be harrowing and upsetting in many ways and really not that much fun. Because the news of the day is very chaotic and it's designed to be that way. Because if you are unstable, you are out there listening to every one of these rumor mongers, and some of them are good. Some has good stuff to say, but the general upshot of that is that it leads to a lot of confusion, and it's hard to kind of connect with the reflected light of the moon if you're wallowing in confusion, if you're unsettled. And so my thought for today is to talk about consolidating the ideas that you have to reflect on them in the context of the day. So it's sort of like a little study guide, really, to look at what you're seeing in a reflective kind of light and to think, okay, how else could I think about this? What other alternatives are there than the ones that are being presented to me? And there are a lot of them. And the ideas that are presented oftentimes have the purpose of the gains of the presenter being foremost. So these people with all this stuff, they have a lot to gain if you'll listen to them. And they will profit from that attention that you give. And after they have received that attention, what they do and what they're going to plan from that attention is not going to be good. These are people that really, they are personalities looking for a place to be affirmed. They are disembodied personalities that are disconnected from life, from the divine hierarchy. And so it's our job to listen and say, well, okay, what kind of alternatives could I think up to all this stuff? How would I be? And to turn our minds to the fact of our contemplation and our creative energies that say to us, well, there are other answers. Now, the idea that no one will accept what we have to say is highly probable, but nevertheless, it does provide us with a consolation, a consoling spirit, in that if they don't want to listen and they've got their own agendas, well, there's not much we can do about that. There's just not that much we can do. So there's an importance there to understand when you've done the work that you are called to do. And if no one responds, that's not your fault. It's not your calling to force responses. So it is my opinion that you can say what you have to say, and then you can shift your gaze. And that's a really important thing. And that's why wilderness work and beauty work are so incredibly powerful. Because as we enter and engage in the wilderness experience, we begin to get really close to the essence of the divine hierarchy. And a lot of the trappings of the world that we're in fade away as we take a wilderness look. And so I'm saying to withdraw to a degree, to find your own understandings, your own consolations with regards to the world around. Also, working with beauty is a powerful thing. And finding in beauty emotional clarity is really the most powerful thing, I think. The world of lucidity and divine understanding sometimes is too difficult. But seeing beauty in its most pristine and pure form is really a gift from the divine. And it's allowing us to find that divinity in the beauty that we are in front of. Because there is I don't know, maybe I do know. I know that it's really important when we see beauty to acknowledge that it's a divine event. And to acknowledge that when we see things that are just alluring and enticing, and we realize that those things are really not that beautiful. Ted has found an enemy across the street, and he is going to say what needs to be said from the perspective of Ted. And so I'll honor that to a degree. If it's not too bad, I'll let it go. But I want you to think about beauty again and thinking about how your emotional life is very much tied into beauty. And that's the place where our emotions and all of the things around us get to resonate as we find beautiful things and we shift our gaze to those things. And the things of enticement and of craving and all that other stuff, it fades away pretty fast. You know that. It's when I was a young man, I got stage struck. I went to a local performance, and there was the most beautiful woman on the stage. It was charismatic and attractive, and oh my gosh, I was just completely taken by who she was and the part she played and her confidence and all that stuff. And then because I knew the producers at the play, I went to the cast party, and oh my gosh, it wasn't really the same. The sheen was different. It wasn't that she was a bad person or she showed through, but the idea of this make-believe kind of thing is something that we need to be very well aware of, that we don't want to be living in the make-believe. We want to be living in the safe place of moral clarity. We know what's going on. And you can see when something is no longer beautiful, it's been corrupted, which is something that happens in our world very much, that so many beautiful things, so many beautiful people, so many beautiful companies are corrupted. And because they are manifesting beauty, they attract those people who wish to corrupt it. So think about that a little bit more. The manifest beauty that's around us attracts people who have no other desire than to corrupt it and use that beauty for their own purposes. And that is insidious. And that is beings who are living only in their own personality, and they are not connected to the divine hierarchies. So I am asking you to continue in your meditations and to do your night work as I am doing. It's fun, and I like it that the sun goes down and night hurries. So join me in that, please. Amen.